Hello, welcome to Better Business Podcast. My name is Alexi, and today I wanted to talk about the evolution of business. Guys, it's been a while since we've done an episode. I've been very busy, but I think that every business has got quite a lot of changes to it, either internal or external. And I guess one of the concepts that I've discussed in the past is this forced evolution. If you don't change, obviously you'll be forced to change. So, with our business, I found that there's quite a lot going on in the world, and overall, offering what's called fractional CMO as a service has really become, I guess, the main focus for myself. So that's been quite a change for myself over the last 3 months, where I am actually a lot more involved in helping business owners make bigger decisions and overlook engagements with their vendors in order to get the results. So, evolution of my business right now sort of revolves around myself providing a service to solve bigger problems, if you like, because running an agency, doing sales consulting sometimes doesn't quite cut it. And my strength is coming in from a sales and marketing perspective, but at the end of the day, a lot of business owners are just stretched out across doing too many things. And at the end of the day, they got to do the quality control. They have to interpret all the reports, and they have to make the decisions whether some advertising or some sales processes are working or not. So that's what I'm helping businesses with. But nevertheless, let's talk about the evolution of business. I think it's a huge topic that a lot of people somehow overlook, and many people always get stuck in this triangle where, hey, it's about making things faster, cheaper, or better, and you can have only two out of this three. Sounds familiar? That's the triangle that a lot of people sort of find in their business, and you can either make it cheap and fast, but it won't be good, or you can make it fast and good, but it won't be cheap, and so on. And yeah, that's the situation. And I think if we look back into, let's say, 19th century or so, back then, if we look at the situation, there were markets. People used to sell things right on the street, and at the end of the day, the competition was exactly the same: price, quality, and I guess speed of delivery, if it's obviously applicable in that particular case. I think to take things to another level, an evolution had to happen because people would be basically at this bottleneck, and I think a lot of people are at a bottleneck of some kind right now. And what's happened back then was, the stores started to appear. So suddenly there is a big store with a lot of different products presenting the same sort of products in a very different light. That would be packed, that would be branded, that would be an experience to people. And look, while this was not for everybody, this was quite a big shift where people with money could go and have an experience while buying. So that is one thing that happened that wasn't there before. And I think if you look into our current world right now, I think we're way too immersed in this experience sometimes. I don't know about you, but every time I'd walk into, even stores like Woolies, for example, you feel that there is a setup that basically absorbs you in some way. Things are presented in a certain light. It creates, I guess, engagement. You feel a certain way. There may be aroma marketing done where you smell certain things, and there's many different factors. But I think the combination of these factors, the speed, the quality, and the price, as well as the overall experience, has really changed everything. And a lot of people prefer to shop at certain places because they feel a certain way. I think now, we've obviously made a step to the side, let's say, over the last 10 years, where people buy things online. And the whole experience has obviously become a lot easier, where that's been another driver to the economy as well. But I'm sure something is going to happen sometime soon, because we either go around in circles, and each iteration of the circle brings in a new experience or a new, I guess, feature to the whole process, or we basically go to the basics, and that's the way the market is being segmented. You'll find there's a ton of people that prefer to go to the markets on the weekend. You'll find that people buy online, and overall we end up with different audiences, with very specific parts to it. And I think what's important is business is all about evolution. And while you can't have the quality, the cost, and the speed of delivery all at the same time, it doesn't mean that you can't do this against your competitors. I think this is the one very important part that a lot of people overlook. So if you're a business owner and you let's say run a service-based business, I don't know, building, renovating, and stuff like that, the price, the quality, and the overall delivery can really be, I guess, improved across the benchmark of your competitors. And I think this is another big thing that a lot of people don't bother looking at. People don't do market research. They don't understand what's happening with the market, what their competitors doing, and so on as well. If you don't do that, guys, you'll find that the change will come to you. You'll experience what's called forced evolution, like I said. And look, there's no big secret to it. It's just that things change over time. Businesses change over time, and at the end of the day, if you stick to something that was working, 10 years ago, or something that your competitors are doing right now, you are not moving ahead of everybody else. So, how do you approach that? Well, first of all, I think it's important to understand the evolution of your business. Look at the 80-20 across the last 10 years, if you've been in business that long, and see how your average customer has changed. Have you started charging more? Have you started specializing? Have you started focusing on a particular type of audience? If that's the case, maybe you've stopped doing that because you sort of come to a point where that's a sweet spot. Then look, if that's helping you grow, if that's helping you stay on track, excellent. If it hasn't, maybe that's something worth looking at. I always find that there is a catalyst, there is a factor that basically initiates this growth process, and then you go through a loop, and then you come to it again. And unless you understand what the catalyst was, it's very difficult for you to grow. I find a lot of businesses get a lot of growth by using online teams or virtual assistants, or using systems for their business, for like CRM and project management, for example. And as a result, the change may not be immediate, but then once it sinks in and you look at the overall outcome, you see that you're able to do more, you're able to benefit a lot more as well. So guys, systems and processes is really the key. But at the end of the day, I think as the owner of the business, you need to understand that there is an evolution that doesn't stop. And you either prepare for things, you innovate. And I have a lot of respect for business owners that spend a lot on R&D and experiment with things. But at the same time, it's about understanding what's optimal for your business right now. If you were pushing for one thing 10 years ago, is that still actual? Or maybe go further, go back to 20, 30 years ago, before the internet and the systems age, and see what was really making an impact on the businesses. Maybe that's something that you may want to review. I'm surprised to find that a lot of sales and marketing oftentimes is still done with the ideas of coming up with a good message, staying consistent, following up, and overall basically focusing on the customer being happy as an outcome. So look, guys, I just wanted to share, my thoughts on this whole thing. I think it's absolutely phenomenal, the cycle and the change of the business, the industrialization of the world. And I think we oftentimes just find ourselves really being stuck and busy with what we're doing without lifting our heads and saying, hey, what's the bigger picture? What's coming up? What's happening? And look, it's obviously interesting to see what's going to happen with the new president. Donald Trump has won the election again, and how that's going to impact things as well. Look, it's always surprising that some decisions that seem minor may end up making huge changes. So just like in business, guys, you may make a small change in your business, but it's going to have that butterfly effect to affect a lot of other things, and most importantly, people. Anyway, my name is Alexei. This is Better Business Podcast. I just wanted to share some thoughts with you. I'm looking to get some interesting guests on the show. And guys, if you obviously enjoy this, make sure you share and subscribe to this channel. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon.